we understand that there's been an officer-involved shooting. It happened maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours ago.
Little was known the night of March 18th, 2018, when a call went out that officers had shot a man in a South Sacramento neighborhood. 3 days later, police would release this video that raised questions, anger, and demonstrations. It all started with the call of a person breaking into cars.
Can we check your backyard real quick?
In the initial minutes of the call, the investigation seemed routine. Until it wasn't. The Sacramento Sheriff's helicopter guiding them, 2 Sacramento police officers ran to catch the man they believed was breaking into cars. The suspect moved from a driveway, climbing over a fence, and unbeknownst to officers, into his grandmother's backyard. Police say they thought he was holding a gun.
Show me your hands, gun!
In a period of just 5 seconds, police fired 20 shots. What happened in those 5 seconds and why would become the focus of anger, outrage, and a comprehensive investigation. The man they shot was 22-year-old Stephon Clark. Clark had dealt with police before, a charge for robbery, one for domestic violence, but nothing involving a shooting. The night he was shot, Clark did not have a gun. He was holding a cell phone. The father of 2 died shortly after the officers opened fire.
I want whoever responsible to be held accountable.
A day after the videos were released, the Clark family demanded answers.
Say his name! Stephon Clark!
And Black Lives Matter held a protest at City Hall. It didn't end there. One contingent marched to Interstate 5, blocking the rush hour commute.
He gave us cancer.
Others knocked over metal detectors and locked arms, blocking the entrance to the Golden One Center, effectively canceling the Kings game for the night.
Well, we know that tensions are high right now and people are upset. So, it's a difficult situation, and, we didn't want to make things worse.
It would not be the last protest. 24 hours later, March 23rd, the protesters hit the streets again, roaming block to block, intimidating drivers, and verbally sparring with police as officers blocked their attempts to take over I-5 again. Some bystanders were hit with water. Protesters jumped on cars. That night, protesters attacked a police car, and one protester was hit by a sheriff's vehicle.
We need to make sure that our city remains in some sort of calmness while the protests go on and things like that, because the last thing anybody needs, whether it's the community, the police department, is for more tragedies to happen.
By the 27th, 9 days after the shooting, Attorney General Javier Becerra said his office would provide an independent review.
My team and I at the California Department of Justice will do everything in our power to ensure that this investigation is fair, thorough, and impartial.
That same night, at a city council meeting, Stephon's brother, Stephon Clark, jumped onto the dais, stopping the meeting.
This should not have ever happened. This is not a Sacramento fight anymore. This is a national fight.
Clark's funeral brought the Reverend Al Sharpton and filled Bayside Church.
Both of these are the same.
Days after the funeral, it was revealed the Clark family commissioned an independent autopsy. Their results showed that of the 20 shots fired, Clark was hit 8 times.
And the proportion of the bullet and the injuries caused made him shove him around.
But the official autopsy by the Sacramento County Coroner's Office disputed the independent autopsy, saying Clark was hit 7 times, 3 of those in the back. It also listed a litany of drugs and alcohol in Clark's system at the time he was shot.
There are 4 pathologists that worked on this very elaborate and thorough autopsy report. And then in addition to that, there was an independent pathologist that also reviewed this report.
The shooting sparked weekly protests outside the district attorney's office. Black Lives Matter asking for an indictment of the 2 officers who shot Clark.
We cannot have situations where the common refrain after the fact is, I thought he had a gun.
The mayor, police chief, and city council changed some police policies in the wake of the shooting. Public safety would be the key factor in a new foot pursuit policy.
This policy, I think, will allow officers to think a little bit more strategically.
As it turned out, the two officers had shut off their microphones after the Clark shooting. That won't be allowed anymore. Meantime, the Attorney General turned over the findings of their investigation to the district attorney on January 16th of this year. The DA said there was so much material they would need to delay their investigation to process everything.
From my understanding is things were supposed to happen, but they did not happen. So that's why we want all them questions and concerns to go straight to the attorneys.
The Clark family filed a wrongful death suit against the city, asking for $20 million in damages. And the California Department of Justice issued another report, this one public, on Sacramento police use of force policies. The report contains more than 40 recommendations.
Help create a police culture that demonstrates that effective policing and respectful policing go hand in hand.
The Attorney General's report spelled out how officers were trained to be aggressive. The DOJ suggests stopping chokeholds and shooting at or from moving vehicles, and emphasizes what they termed a guardian model of policing instead of a warrior mindset.
Meaning that officers emphasize communication over commands and cooperation over compliance.
All this in the wake of 20 shots fired at Stephon Clark and an investigation nearly a year in the making.
We look at all of it, everything. We asked our question that we started out with again. And that question is, was a crime committed?
Until today, when the Sacramento District Attorney announced her decision.
There's no question that a human being died. But when we look at the facts and the law, and we follow our ethical responsibilities, the answer to that question is no. And as a result, we will not charge these officers with any criminal liability related to the shooting death and the use of force on Stephon Clark.
Sacramento Mayor Darrell Steinberg has apologized for the death of Stephon Clark and said it should not have happened. The mayor appointed Stephon Clark, Stephon Clark's brother, to a committee that's in charge of Measure U sales tax dollars. That commission will use the money in underserved communities.